god. We're live, bro. We're live.
Let's go. In person. Got the Coke Zero, the microphone, and how do we do this?
One
We
person
just pass
at a
it
time.
on. Yeah. First of all, we're gonna listen to this. I hope they could hear that. Where are we right now, man?
Awesome. So this is the 16th of February in Cyprus, Larnaca, in Angel's backyard, recording the YouTube video. So we've been here for a week now. We've been just honestly the last week. I'll let you give your take, but I think we've just been fucking around, enjoying the time here, doing the opposite to what our plan was, which was to lock in. What do you think?
I feel like we've been definitely working. I mean, closed a couple of clients. I can't even remember how many clients we closed, but yeah, we've definitely not been doing the deep work as we should. And I think a big learning lesson is every single time you go to a new location, the first thing you should do is buy a desk, buy a monitor, and buy a good chair. We waited with that for about a week. I have no idea why. We should have just bought it instantly. As soon as we got here, where's the best desk? Just buy it. Yeah. Now we have desks. We have an entire setup, which is nice. And yeah.
Pro tip: next time I go somewhere, I'm gonna have a desk, a monitor, and a chair ordered before I even arrive. So when I'm there, right by the door, the things should arrive the same day, if not the day before.
Yeah.
So that you never have to spend a week. Because we spent a week, we were partially fucking around because we weren't super serious and like we were wanting to see the place and stuff. But I would say we did spend a lot of hours, probably 6 hours a day, in front of the computer trying to work. But it's just hard to work when you don't have that setup, when you don't have the charger plugged in, you don't have a desk that you can stabilize on and so on. So that's definitely a big learning lesson. But also the importance of a routine. Whenever you go somewhere new, everything is gonna be messed up. Sometimes it's a time zone, sometimes it's just that you don't have any place to eat nearby, you don't have the same bed and stuff, so you just need to build out a routine that you can actually stick to from day one. Because this even goes for if you're home. If you don't have a routine that you at least somewhat stick to hour by hour, then you're not gonna end up doing exactly what you want to do. Because by default, life isn't intentional. Being intentional is not something natural that we do as humans. That's something we need to engineer and optimize for.
Yeah. The modern day philosopher Edvin Hansen. I'm just kidding. No, it's great to be here. I feel like I already knew that you should always have the best desk, best setup. When we went to Dubai, the first thing we did was buying buying that entire setup. Same thing in Bali, but for some reason I didn't do it here, which is so dumb.
Yeah.
I think it was because we weren't as clear of what we wanted to do. If we were gonna stay in Cyprus, or we gonna go to Marbella. We were in the talks of going to like Marbella, to some place and actually go for like 3 months and lock in, like actually get a real place. I feel like the uncertainty made us not commit, and we didn't buy anything because we were like, oh, we're gonna leave anyways. So that's just, even if we go for 4 days, I think it's still worth it, because it's like a desk, a monitor, a chair, in total probably $200, and it's gonna make you way more productive. So I think even if you're out for like 4, 5, 6 days, if you're gonna work, I think you should have a setup. If you're not gonna work, then just don't work as much or at all, and just take the meetings. Why does Cyprus have so many flies? Bro, they're aggressive.
I want to say a learning lesson on that I got from my mentor Kale. Me and he was talking about this, and one of the things he said was that there's 2 types of trips you do. There's vacation trips, and these are 1 to 2, maybe 3 weeks, but they're only made to have fun. And a lot of people, they try to really work and be like, yeah, we're gonna work but still have fun on a vacation trip. But oftentimes, if you have a trip that is made for being a vacation, accept that you're not gonna be as productive. Don't spend a month there, obviously, spend a week or 2, and just have fun, enjoy that, and be like, okay, I might work enough to keep the business afloat, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 hours a day, but it's not going to be your most productive time. Because when you're working, you want to be having fun, and when you're having fun, you're gonna want to be working, and you're gonna feel like you're always sacrificing the other. So it's important to just, accept the one that you're in. If you're on a vacation, like on a trip to have fun, then just enjoy the place that you're at. And if you're there to work, Make sure that you actually focus on working. And if it's gonna be a work trip, which is the second type of trip, then be there for a month minimum. Because to really get good work and get a routine and feel like you're home and be able to know what to do when you wake up in the morning, you want to be there for at least a month. That's when the real productivity is unlocked.
I don't know if they can hear the cars in the background.
I don't think so. That's a good mic.
Yeah, it is. That's great. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, let's dive into some updates from this week. Yeah, we've been settling here in Cyprus. We're gonna be here probably for like another 2 weeks or so. Yeah, a lot has happened. We got the Cloudbot coming out. I actually want to talk about that a little bit to kind of document, because if we start using Cloudbot a lot, then I think this is going to be a game changer for our business. And this is like the first day where we are like, okay, we need to buy Cloudbot. So maybe when we look back at this in a year or so, maybe...
What is the Cloudbot? Tell everybody that have never heard of OpenClaw.
Okay, OpenClaw, I'm not that... I don't understand it fully. But it's basically an AI as an agent. So the agents can do things on your computer. It's not like ChatGPT... These flies, man. It's not like ChatGPT or Claude or these text chatbots. It's an AI that can actually go into your computer and do things for you. So send emails, script videos, create videos. It can do pretty much anything that you can do on the computer. It can do. And so you prompt it, and you can have different agents for different things. And so it's definitely a game changer, because if you can now have media buyers as agents or appointment setters as agents, then you can literally build a company without any employees. And so I don't know what level it is yet, because we haven't tried it. We've got some good friends of ours, they're recommending it, and they're going nuts with it. I mean, yeah, we got people buying multiple MacBooks Mini. So it's definitely something that we're gonna look into. I think we need to. So that's the update with OpenAI. If we go into the business though, what's going on in our business? Both me and Edvin talked about this. We feel like we're in a situation where we're putting in the work, but we're not seeing all of the results yet. Even though we are signing clients, like we're not making 3, 5, 6, 10k profit per day as we want to. And that's pretty much it. We're in a stage of like putting in a lot of work, or at least we did the first part of the year, and now we're kind of starting to see some of the results. Profitability is back, at least for me this week. Yep. Also for you, I think. And we're still signing clients, and I think you said a really good thing. You said even though we didn't work that hard this week, we still got pretty good results. So what if we work our hardest every day? What kind of results are we gonna see? So I think this week it's gonna be crazy. I mean, we know the area, we know where the good stores are, we know where the good food is, we have the setups. I mean, I think it's just gonna be work from now. What do you think?
There's so many things I could talk about. I'll start with the OpenClaw, with the routine, with the compounding.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll start talking about OpenClaw. Like, if nobody's heard about it, and by the way, there's so many names for it. So if you guys are hearing Cloudbot or like, Moltbot, there's so many names. This guy changes the name of the thing 5 times. But basically, I was completely incompetent with this until today. So I just looked into everything. Basically, what it is a AI agent that goes on your computer, and it works on your computer as if it's a human. So you need to buy a physical computer, or you can use a VPS, which is like an online computer, for it. And then it literally works as if you have an executive assistant who just knows everything. So you connect it to ChatGPT or to Anthropic or one of those, and then it just gets to work. But it works 24/7, doesn't take any breaks, doesn't ask for a high paycheck every month, and it just works. And you choose what it's gonna work on and how it's gonna work. And you text it like a chatbot, but then it does the work for you on another computer. And I think this is a lesson I had with it. We had a friend of ours tell us about it 2.5 weeks ago. And this was the same guy that got us into Paper Lead. He was doing Paper Lead 6 months before us. And he was making so much money, and we were too stubborn to actually question it. So our first thought was like, yeah, that probably works, but it's definitely shiny object syndrome. Let us just continue what we're doing. 6 months later, turns out he's right, and now he's 6 months ahead of us. And I genuinely believe I love this guy, but we're smarter than him. We could outwork him, but he's so much ahead because he was not slow to get on a trend that he saw clearly. Same thing with OpenClaw, this bot. I'm glad it didn't take 6 months for us to learn about it, but now 3 weeks after he's telling us about it, or 2 weeks later, I'm seeing the effect of it. It can literally do every role in the company. It can do decision making, it can do media buying, appointment setting. I don't know if it can do closing yet. That's probably a bit too ahead, but it's close. It can do everything. So
you don't have the camera, potentially.
yeah, a faceless camera closer it could literally be. So I've been thinking about it this whole morning and doing research, and I think that we're probably gonna be able to get to 1 million a month within months with this. The only thing that's gonna constrain you is cash flow, which if you're a good business owner you should be able to complete, and then taking sales calls. If you can just fix those two, you're not gonna have any media buying, any operational, any head work constraints. And man, I think this is literally the time where we step into the next generation of AI. First, AI was not something for the general public. Then ChatGPT made it big, and now everybody's using AI. I feel like this is the next step where AI goes crazy and everybody uses it in their work, not just to get advice from it. I'm so excited, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking excited. And so that's probably the biggest update. Then, talking about the compounding effect and stuff, people say that the eighth wonder of the world is the compounding effect, and I really felt that this week. I feel like we were not as locked in as we should have been since we got here, and I don't blame myself for it. I think we had a lot of fun, and we learned some lessons from it, as we talked about, that we're gonna be able to use these following few months. But what was interesting was that even though we barely did anything in the business, like working on the business and actually pushing the business forward, we kind of just showed up, took our sales calls, did the work that was required, and I still signed 3 partners this last week. 4 if you include one that came back that I sold back. You signed like 3, 4 too. So we really crushed this week without really working that hard. And I think it's going back on a lesson that I learned. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I said we're in that season of grinding right now, and we're not seeing the results right now because that week we hadn't signed any partners. We weren't making any results on the output side, but I knew that was gonna come 2-3 weeks later. Now we're here. Now we did not put in the work we did back then, but we still got the results. So when we combine those two, and we get the eighth wonder of the world, the compounding effect, and we just keep working and we don't slow down and we don't go on any dumb trips and we just stay locked in, plus we let that compounding effect hit, that's when we're gonna scale so fast. And it's great to see that that's actually how the world works. The work you put in today is gonna show in a few weeks and months from now. And I'm excited to see what's gonna happen when we lock in for the next 6 months straight without stopping and let that compounding effect take on of itself.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well, 100%. Another thing with the cloud bot that I was gonna mention. I can't remember. Can't remember it. Right. Cool. Yeah, as Edvin said, compounding. I mean, we've had results coming through even if we haven't put in that hard work, and I feel like sometimes you should. I mean, I'm in a season where I want to work. I don't want to do other things. I of course I like going out for nice dinners. I'm always gonna do that. But when it comes to like trips where you're not working, I feel like that's not for me at the moment.
No.
So yeah, definitely excited to scale with this now, and I'm really excited to get CloudBot set up or OpenClaw. Another thing, yeah, I remember now what I was gonna say. They got acquired yesterday by OpenAI, by Sam Altman. So last night, yeah, I don't know if what the deal is, if they bought 100% of it, or if it's like they bought the whole thing. Holy,
and
okay.
Hired the owner.
And hired the owner, yeah. Okay, so
mention that this is a one. I don't think they can hear me, but this is a fucking one-person company. That's the most insane part.
They hired one person.
Yeah, okay. So it's basically one person who built this whole thing. Now he has like one guy, I think was helping him with security or something. But he built all of this, 2026, winning against Anthropic and OpenAI and Gemini and Google, all these companies as one person.
It is insane, yeah. And so OpenAI bought it, so yeah, we're gonna definitely see some improvements, and it's gonna probably change how we hire and everything.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm having a lot of people that are applying for roles to work at our company, and they're watching these videos. I just want to say I appreciate you guys, and yeah, if you're looking for a tech role right now, an operation/tech role, hit me up. But yeah, cool. That's the update. So we got Cloudbot. We have not working as much, but we're still signing clients. What other update? Yeah, we also turned profitable now. Finally, we got a killer head of ad creative now at our team. We're really seeing some results from him now, especially last 3 days or so. We've launched a lot of ads from him, and we're really seeing the results. So we're just gonna make sure that we keep him at the highest standard, because this guy is incredible. We're just gonna make sure that we maintain that high standard with us and with him. But yeah, really happy with that hire. Extremely good. That's also, I would say, a pretty big update from this week. So we're still in the early stages. I now have a pretty big lead limit, which means that I have partners that can fulfill on the leads. But right now we're a little bit more demand constrained. Supply constrained. I need more leads, B2C. But on the other side, I also need more B2B clients, because we have client finance acquisition. So I just want to scale that as well. So it's really just allocating budget right now, looking at the cash flow, how much cash do I have, and then just allocating it at the most profitable partners where the cash flow the recycle is the shortest, and also allocating budget B2B to make sure that we still sign clients since we have client finance acquisition. And that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna say one more thing here. I've learned this lesson so many times, but never turn off the B2B ad spend. You can never stop selling. Everyone says it, but for some reason you always have the period where like, okay, I'm gonna turn off the B2B ads and I'm gonna build this out and I'm gonna focus on B2C. Don't fall for that trap. It's a mind game. You never turn off B2B ads. The moment you turn off your ads for your company is the moment you stop growing. If you're a marketing company, so it should never go down. Ad spend always goes up. That's my update.
First thing I ever got from Kale, my mentor, when I started working with him, I had my ads off for 2 months. I had just split with my business partner. I was like 100k in debt. 2 months before that, I had rebuilt everything. I had paid everything back, and I was like, okay, it's time to fucking go crazy and just rebuild my product and not focus on sales. And I believe that if my product was good enough, I wouldn't have to go too crazy with the sales side. First thing he tells me is like, bro, you want me to be really honest? I was like, yeah, always. He's like, you're stupid. You're gonna make this mistake for another 3 months, and then you're gonna run out of cash, and then you're gonna wish that you turned on your ads, and then you're not gonna have the money to turn on the ads. And he was so right, because we turned on the ads 1 week after that, and we almost ran out of cash back then. And I'm so fucking happy that since that day, since he told me that, I have not turned off my ads a single time. And it's one of those lessons that you really just need to learn. Every time you turn off your ads, no matter what your strategy is, no matter what your valid excuse is, you always lose money from it. You always lose money from it.
It's so interesting. It's not, when you have the ads on, people think that you're losing money in the ad spend, but that's not how it works. It's what's keeping you alive. It's like the gasoline in the car. If you don't want to pay for your gas, then you can't expect the car to run. It's like, yeah, you'll lose money when you actually fill the car up, but it's just gonna go faster and faster. So B2B spend never goes down.
Hell yeah. Now, talking about the problems we're facing right now, I would say there's 3 main problems we're facing. We kind of started solving one of them. But the 3 problems, at least on my side, is number 1, B2C profitability. As Jim said, we don't have the profit we need on the B2C side. We need to be above 40% consistently above 40. This week, Facebook seems to be a bit messed up. Everybody's talking about it. I hate blaming that though as a reason, because I don't want to say that the reason I'm not making money is because of somebody else. But basically, this week, we ended off a profit margin at about 20%. That's the lowest we've had. We're usually about 30 to 40%, but we need to be at above 40 for us to be able to consistently scale. But that doesn't mean, once again, that we're going to turn off our B2B ads and stop selling. But that's probably the first thing that I feel like we're solving and we're doing the right input for, but we're still waiting on the outputs to come. But like anything, like we spoke about, if we keep putting in the inputs, it's not going to be a problem in a few weeks. I would say the other thing for me is my B2B ads. I still quite haven't solved it. Jim is getting such good B2B responses right now, and that's something you're really crushing it with, and you're calling those leads, you're setting those clients. And right now we're averaging like 1 good lead every 2 days, which really sucks. But we're spending quite a bit on ads. So I'm thinking we're probably going to turn up our B2B ad spend and try even more new ads, maybe a few different concepts. And I'll just keep testing there. But we also found so good responses from the LinkedIn that we're doing. And this is a huge update.
So good.
Yeah, I had a $1 billion company. They are the 4th biggest remodeling company in the entire United States. And I literally spoke to that company. We're gonna do a $500 lead start. So we're basically talking about upfront $40K for the first month as a starting testing budget. And then if it works, they said we'll go to scale, which I think they're buying a total of, I think they said 180,000 leads a month, but I might be wrong on that number. So it's an insane amount. It's basically 100 times our business from just one client. So that all came from LinkedIn, and LinkedIn really does work, but it's just lower volume, higher quality people. So we're gonna double down on that, get a second account for LinkedIn, and just keep following up with those people, finding the best people, and that's gonna be even easier with Cloudbot, right?
We're gonna have literally the entire AI is gonna do all of it for us.
What's that?
Yeah, the AI, the Cloudbot is gonna do all of it for us. Literally doing the connections, sending the email, sending the messages, scraping the people, updating, like following up with them. The Cloudbot is gonna do all of that, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's basically business on steroids. So I'd say that's probably the second constraint for me, actual good lead flow on B2B. And then I'd say the third and final one is I need a setter. I have an ISA and I need to make him an SDR. For anybody who doesn't know those terms, ISA calls leads for our partners. That's our old pay per appointment offer we used to run. SDR calls leads for us to try to set remodeling companies on my calendar. I need that guy. And basically I'm converting one ISA to a SDR. And I feel like that's what's holding me back because I'm in sales calls, so I can't call leads when they come in. I can't cold call, and I'm too busy for that right now. And I feel like we have the profitability and the scale to be able to do that. So that's going to be my focus this week. Talk about problems and goals.
Yeah, problems, I agree. B2C profitability is the biggest one. Cash flow is still a little bit of a constraint of mine. I mean, short-term cash balance is pretty okay. It's definitely not where I want it to be. I'd say I want to get to the point where I have 3 months worth of OPEX in like an OPEX account, and everything above that.
What's
just
OPEX?
Yeah, OPEX is operating expenses. So Jim watching this in, I don't know how long, but a couple of months, not even a couple of months, but I want to have 3 months worth of operating expenses in my account. Cash balance, long-term, short-term, and short-term including all of the ad spend, both B2C and B2B, should all be profitable, and we should have a lot of margins there. I just want to get to that point as fast as I can, because I feel like you operate business in a different way when you have cash. You never have the feeling of like, shit, I need to make this work. You're more of like, okay, what is the actual constraint? You don't do impulsive decisions. And I just feel like, yeah, having at least 3 months worth of operating expenses for us, plus the ad spend, that's gonna be the main focus. And problems, yeah, I'd say B2C profitability is the main one. Right now our B2B is working good. We've had a little bit of a slower week this week, but we're still looking good. We're definitely gonna need to ramp up some more ads, and we already have a lot of ads that we are waiting to test. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm not really that heavily constrained. There's always problems in the business, but right now I don't want to look at them as problems. I just want to put in more work, and I think that's gonna give me more growth. I feel like our B2B good. We have the LinkedIn. We just need to consistently do all of it. Test more B2C ads, increase the B2C profitability, speak with some partners, make sure that their booking percentages is good, and yeah, just scale. I feel like everything is in check. We have client finance acquisition, no churn. I mean, yeah, just want to scale it.
I'm just going to say a quote and then I'll hand it back off to you. Extraordinary results come from normal input for a long period of time. To get, extraordinary results and stuff that is super, super cool to look at, like a $1 billion company, you just need to be the world's best at making pizzas or flipping burgers or delivering leads to remodeling companies. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It just needs to be all the fucking basics every day. You need to make your partners happy. You need to continue getting new leads. You need to continue following up with those leads and be good at sales. Like, it's so easy. Or say it's so simple, but it's still hard, because the hard part is just continuing to do it and not getting a new crazy idea and then stopping everything that's working to go to that idea. It's just continuing to do what works, and then every time it consistently works, you do more of it.
Yeah, well said. I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I don't need to. Oh, the Coke and just went away. Yeah.
Goals for this week.
Goals for this week. Okay. I want to have at least a 40% profit margin on my B2C ads. But on the other side, I know that we have to stop running a selected amount of ads that we're running right now, since the booking rate is lower on those ads. We really have to crack. I feel like, Edvin, I think we have to get clear on, do we want to run high intent ads with lower qualifying questions or low intent ads with more qualifying questions? I feel like we have to find that balance. Because imagine if we always knew that all of our leads were going to booking at 30 to 40%. There's nothing stopping us, and we were profitable. But maybe, we just found out that other companies, they're charging different prices in different areas. We really got to figure out, what we're doing there.
That's one of the main things we're facing right now, finding the balance. And this is the every pay-per-lead company's biggest issue. Like, every company has a problem, and this is the biggest pay-per-lead problem, which is, what's the balance between profit margin and result for your clients? And you can't go too heavy in one direction. But I would say my biggest cheat code to succeeding in business is looking at what the biggest and best companies do and then just following them. And it seems as though every big company, they do relatively low quality ads and then a lot of landing page questions. Because I think the reason behind that is, if you have enough qualifying questions, it doesn't matter if you do high quality ad or low quality ad, because when we say high quality, we don't mean how good that is. We talk about how high quality the leads we attract are going to be. But point is, if you have enough qualifying questions, you can run a high quality ad because they're naturally going to fill in more questions. You can put a lower quality ad because that one's going to naturally get fewer full responses but more lead flow anyways. So I think a high amount of questions is probably the way to go. And I feel like we're close to that. We probably do you have the why do you want the remodel question? Yeah, so we probably have the right amount of questions minus one or two. Like, we probably need to add one or two other ones to be optimal, but I don't think we are super far away based on our lead price. And we're definitely going to share leads in the future. It's something we realized this week. We're going to share leads. It's not in the near-term future though, because we need to have states filled with at least 2, if not 3 remodelers in each area in that state. So I would say probably in the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to start sharing leads, and then we might have to play around with our landing page and prices and stuff. But for now, I think we're going to be able to just survive with, or not survive, but thrive with our current lead costs, but just adding a few landing page questions and just running a bunch of different ads and testing everything. And not obviously doing anything super bait. Like, we don't want to say that it's a free remodel or something like that, because then you can add all the questions in the world, but you won't get high quality leads.
Yeah, that's it. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, about sharing leads. We also came to this realization that since we work with homeowners, we're actually doing the homeowners a service, or we're doing them a disservice not sharing the lead to multiple contractors, because they should be able to compare quotes. And the good homeowners, they will compare quotes either way. And so either we sell the information to all of our partners that we know would love to work with this lead, or we send them to one person and then the homeowner decides to find 2 other on Google. It's like, it's going to be the exact same thing. So we're definitely going to do the homeowners a service, as well as I feel like the homeowner will either way speak with multiple people. But yeah, that's a little bit of a side tangent. If we go back into our company, I feel like we've already discussed the problems. When it comes to goals, I'm going to do input-based goals this time. The output-based goal that I want to achieve is about 4 to 5 solid clients. I mean, companies with appointment setters. As long as we do that, then we're within, I mean, yeah, we're going to achieve what we want to achieve. Probably, yeah, we're going to achieve everything that we want to achieve. So output, I want to sign 4 clients this week. Input based, we're going to turn up the B2C ad spend. I'm going to try to get to $1,000 a day as fast as I can on the B2C side. And on the B2B side, I want to make sure I keep the client finance acquisition. As long as I have client finance acquisition, I'm never going to stop increasing the spend. But right now we are a little bit cash flow constrained. So input goals. First of all, we're going to always reach our LinkedIn limit. That's the first thing. Second thing is I'm going to call every single follow-up and every single company that is on the line, because we have like 12 to 15 companies that are really good fits, but they haven't signed yet. Partially, I would say sales skills. Selling a new offer. I feel like we definitely need to get better at closing on the spot. The only thing when you're doing pay-per-lead and you're working with bigger companies is most of the times you got a CMO or a marketing director joining in the call, and they have a certain limit on what they can spend, and they have to go back and speak with the other people. And most of the times there's multiple decision makers in the process, but from what I found, that's actually not a problem, because as long as you pitch that person good, they will always come back and sign. It's just a longer process. It's when you're working with smaller companies, you have to close them on the spot, otherwise you're never hearing from them again. But with these bigger deals, I don't feel like that's the case. We can actually have people go and speak with other people and then sign on later. That hasn't been a problem. So yeah, reach the LinkedIn request. I'm going to call all follow-ups, all red hot lists, get as many of them through the door as possible. And keep on increasing the B2C spend, keep increasing the B2B spend. And with all of these, we should maintain a 40% profit margin this week and sign 4 clients. That's pretty much it. What are you thinking?
This might be the first time in history that this ever happens, and it's that Jim got a haircut. No, I'm kidding. That's not the point. We did get haircuts though. We both did. Look at our latest video. We had way too long hair, but that wasn't the point. Point is, this might be the first time in history where I feel like Jim is setting a higher goal than me. This week, I have one thing that I'm gonna focus on that Jim ain't, and that is turning my ISA into an SDR. I already spoke about that one, so that's my first goal. By the way, the reason I'm looking at my phone is because I have my goals here. Then other parts from that, implement OpenClaw. I think that's the biggest one. Like if we both have a functioning Mac Mini that can actually implement OpenClaw or actually use OpenClaw, then that's probably going to be the biggest thing we've done all year. Like that's going to be a huge thing. So that's going to be a big focus for me, especially during this coming weekend probably, and the mornings. And then in terms of outputs-based goals, I want to achieve 3 closed clients that are good. 3 good closed clients where we do collect payment and they have at least 1, if not 5, 10, 20 appointment setters. I have 3 companies that I'm 100% sure should sign up this week, but one always falls through the cracks, so at least I get 2 of those plus 1 other one from our ads, then I'm happy with that. Reason I'm setting that lower than usual, like we signed 4 days last week, is because I'm gonna focus on training up this SDR, so I accept that I might spend more time on that, but not an excuse. We're still signing 3 good ones. And then lastly, I want to get to a 30% profit margin net on, I don't want to say net, gross, on pay-per-lead. So that means after ad spend, we should be profiting 30%. I think we can do up to 40, but I don't want to start optimizing for only profit margin and then fucking up with some of our partners. That's why I'm still saying we'll probably do more towards 30, but we'll see where that ends up. 30 to 40% would be sick. I think that's all my goals for this week.
Yeah, Angel, our friend, is here on the balcony. I think he looks hungry. We're gonna go for a souvlaki?
Whatever. No, I'm listening.
Dude, I'm getting hungry. I feel like we have to...
Some Greek food?
Yeah, some Greek food. Get some souvlaki, some tzatziki. And yeah, get to work.
Let's add something we haven't done before. One sentence, and I want to start this thing. I thought about it this morning. on each one of those videos moving forward, I want to say one sentence. It can be a question or it can be a sentence to the Jim/Edvin in 1 week. And then in a week from now, we review that thing and we respond to it by the beginning of that video. So we start every video with responding to last week's video. And then we end every video with asking a question or saying a statement to last week. And my question/statement is going to be...
Don't hold it as close, it's gonna be ear rape.
Sorry, guys. Sorry for fucking you up. My question/statement is gonna be... Please just find a routine where you actually work in the morning, you actually take the calls, you actually do the work that we just talked about in this video. And my question is, did you actually do that? That's what I care about. What about you?
Interesting. Get the dog back. Yeah, I'm gonna become a monster now, Edvin. I'm gonna outcompete you when we're here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my friend. Yeah, Edvin is gonna turn crying soon because I'm gonna outscale him like crazy. No, but seriously, question for myself. No, you know what? In the end of next week, I'm gonna say my total screen time on my phone because I wanna remove my screen time as much as possible. So, in the end of next week, I'm going to put up my phone and I'm gonna say how much unproductive screen time I had for the week. Did you want this or do you want to do a fucking handshake? Let's go. Okay, time to scale.